So here it is, race 3 SBR sim racing British touring cars at Dragon Trail Seaside, and it's the third race, and this is the one that normally drags the crowds in. It's the reverse grid, so you have the slower guys at the front and the faster guys at the back, or people that were in trouble in the first race with damage. So you got Willem pole from Leon, then you got Brian, Chris and a few other fast guys up there, so Andrew's up there as well, and then Nick. So just behind that is Ben and Dean. So the lights are on. We're on 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Will get the jump, and we're away. And a great start by Will. Looks like he's got it, but look at Brian come flying through from the second row in that fast start on Subaru, which was a legacy of the first season with Ben driving it. And it looks like Brian's leading, but now it looks like Leon's leading. So let's see how this works. 16 or 15 crazies running into the first corner, and only one can come out, and it's Will that leads from Brian. Then it looks like it's Leon, and it just about is, although Nick's trying to change that, and Ash and Ben getting into contact, and Ben flying literally, and then a small contact there from Chris, so the usual target on the back of Ben's car. Don't worry about that. Will's leading from Brian. Brian putting the pressure on, bless him. So he's absolutely trying tonight. Someone's fed him something. Probably Viagra, I would have thought. He's got a real hard on for the front of the grid this meeting. And there's the 666 car of Dean. They flash through, and Dean's racing with Sean. Sean can probably outbrake him, I would have thought, around the outside. Let's see, yes. And carry the speed through the corner, and has. And at the back it's not a great start by the Man racing cars, but it's Brian. He's trying to go around the outside of the bollocks chicane, and it's not worked, unfortunately for him. And he's lost all that speed now, and he'll probably get hoovered up by a couple of these guys who just went for that chicane flat out, basically. There's the 2 rapid fit cars, and it's Adam making really good progress. He's already passed his teammate, and it looks like he might have clipped the back of Leon then, and that's put Ash wide as well. So not really sure. I didn't see the start of that, so I can't really portion blame, but it's ruined 2 people's races. And into the pits comes 2 cars, and that's Rob, and it looks like Ash. So Ash should be jumping for that. He had a 5th place, he had a 6th place. He could easily have had another one. And there you can see he's just pitting for damage, no tyres. Will leads though, and it's Nick now up into 2nd from Brian. Ominously, Adam's already up to 4th place, so he'll be probably the favourite for the race given his pace. Ben's in 5th, so he's managed to get around more than 2 corners ahead of Andrew, who's 6th, so a good improvement from Andrew as well. We've not seen a lot of him today. And Lewis up to 7th now, Jeff 8th, and that's Liam 9th with Sean behind him, and then Dean. Leon's stormed to the back of the grid, unfortunately. It's just not been his day. Well, they did have a super pool game, so that's probably what's caused that, because that would have been a horrendous amount of drinking. And down the inside then, in the background, that looks like Adam making a move on Brian, but Brian's late on the brakes in there, but he has gone deep, but it does like that line. Subaru tends to squirt out that corner pretty well, and he'll probably just about hold off Adam, I would have thought. If he can hold it through there, and he has. So yet again, Brian's shown that he's not the one to be messed with this season. He's about as quick as me through there, unfortunately, though, which is not very quick. And that's going to put him under pressure. Lewis, though, passed Andrew. And now look to overtake Ben on the inside in the last corner, and it looks like he's doing that, yes. And then there's... oh, who's that gone off? Striking sparks. That's Adam. Adam's ran wide, trying to overtake Brian, and Brian's still not having it. Brian in the Pertec car is not having it, not letting that rapid fit forward through at all. And Will's actually starting to stretch away now from Nick, so Nick not able to hang on with Will. And Adam down the inside of Brian again, and hopefully for his sake he gets that done. And Ben and Lewis, like old times, side by side and threatening to have contact with each other as they head down this back straight. Lewis tucks in behind, and this looks like a bit more of a what we'd expect from Ben. I'm not sure what the Mitsubishi team would want as well, because pretty lackluster first 2 races. Nick though is going to have trouble with Adam very soon. Nick in the Honda Halford's livery car that he made himself, so it looks good. Dean probably in his last race in that car, so I don't think we've seen Dean again. So Will's temporary teammate brings us up in 11th place. Down the inside, Nick's trying to keep his 2nd place. Adam trying to get the switch back, more contact, and a bit more. Again, needless contact there. 3 wide here, that can't work. And it's still Ben hanging on in 5th, ahead of Lewis. He's holding up everybody. He's just terrible through this bit. Lewis probably caught out by how slow Ben was through there. But here comes Sean as well. He's going to try and take 2 shredded wheats, just showing off that he can eat 2. And he's dragging Liam along as well, and he's moved over on Andrew on the straight there. That's pretty silly. Probably thought he had the move done, but he didn't. And Lewis and Ben are still going at it. Lewis is way faster than Ben. We've seen that over the weekend, but he's just not able to complete the move. Every time he does, he gets overtaken again at the next corner. So bit of fighting spirit, maybe a bit of team play from Ben, trying to get Sean into the mix. But whatever the reason, Lewis is just not quite able to complete the move. Liam down the inside, a bit late there, so not really on against Andrew. Sideways from the BMW. Liam's been there or thereabouts, but again, not a stellar weekend. And there's Adam switching out to try and go around Nick, but he won't get around the outside. And now Will's not really stretching away anymore. These two obviously driving each other forwards, despite the fact that they're battling. And Brian hanging on in the slipstream there. Get on, Brian, do not give up, boy. No, he might even have the audacity to try and overtake these guys. And he's looking. And he'll look down the inside, he might get Nick. He's trying to give as much room as he can, and he's still trying. It's not going to work though. And in fact, Nick tries to come back at Adam. It's not going to work. Adam takes the 2nd place. Nick up to 3rd. Or stays 3rd. 4th, Brian. And the Alphas are at it. And Lewis finally looks like he's going to get past Ben. Ben probably won't make it hard for Sean. In fact, Sean's already down the inside, so Ben will just stay there. And I'll let Sean through. So if his plan was to get Sean back in the action, and with Lewis it's worked. It was the plan, by the way. And it seems to have worked for them, so here they come. Will's leading. Adam will close up, I'm sure. Nick's going to have a battle now with Brian. Brian driving a belter, and down the inside, why not? He's done it. And around the outside on the exit. Yep, bit of contact, but for a British touring car contact. Lewis now trying to overtake on the grass. Interesting. And you know, just ignore the fact there's the whole racetrack on the right. That's fine. And down the inside he goes. Brian. It's up into 3rd for Lewis. So now he get towards that front battle. I'm pretty sure if we go to the front anytime soon that Will's going to be coming under pressure from Adam pretty soon. There he is. There's Lewis with Brian and the rest of all following. Ben down to 7th now, so he's doing his trait from the first race, just in his first 2 races, just dropping to the back. We've got a couple of Renaults behind him and Liam. Liam thought about the inside move, and Andrew quite rightly blocked it, but he probably went in a bit too deep. Being front wheel drive, it's quite hard to get the power down. Will scratches the barrier, but nothing serious. Still leading the way as we're about to start half distance already. 3rd race always seems to go quicker because of the action. Nick fainting down the inside of Brian. Thought about it, but it's not going to work. Brian's going to come back in with a 4-wheel drive, and he does. Sean's there. Sean's there. Right now he needs to get past these two because Lewis is escaping down the road. He might be able to get both of them in this braking zone at turn 2. The snaking and the braking are all braking as late as they possibly can. They're all into each other. Not like that. They're all crashing into each other. And they all come out pretty much as they went in, although I think Nick's got past Brian, and he has. Sean has tried around the outside of Brian, but that's not going to work. Will he switch to the inside? No, Brian's got that covered. Brian even tries to attack Nick back, didn't work. And Sean now with a switch back. Pretty much I would say Mitsubishi is probably the slowest in the straight, and if you see it against the Subaru's a little bit quicker I would say, but Sean's going to try the outside, and well, to be fair, Brian tried to give him room, but he hit the curb and got sideways. So again, a bit unnecessary, but looked like he couldn't do much about that. And that's put Ben now onto Brian, and Ben will try and go around the outside. He'll have to brake very late, and he has. That puts Ben back up 1 to 6th, and Jeff's buying into this as well. He's into 8th place, and he's just watching this and laughing. Liam's starting to join the pack as well, so what a group that is for a fight. Amazingly, Andrew and Adam hasn't caught Will yet. I would have thought he'd just raced up to him. Ben into the barrier, that's damage. In the background, saw that. So will he pit or will he carry on? He's in 6th. So if I was him, I would just carry on. Nick in the Halfords livery car, like I say, he made that himself, so we were quite happy for him to do that. Someone that is pitting is Jeff. Was that for damage? I didn't see any damage. Guys are bringing tyres out, and is it only tyres then? Being a front wheel drive, maybe it's mashing them, and yeah, it is tyres only, so he is mashing tyres. Although it could be a clever move. If you can catch that pack up again, they'll have newer tyres, and he should be able to cut through them pretty quick. The way they're battling, he probably will catch them. But that's your top 3. Then it's Will, Adam, and Lewis, and then whoever's 4th, well, you decide. But at the minute it's Nick, Sean, then it's Ben, Brian, and then I think Liam, is it? Yeah, Liam's just off the back of it. Say Jeff would have come out at about 10th, 11th place, but we'll probably see that at some point. There's 2 Mitsubishi swarming all over the Hyundai as they head down towards the nasty hairpin, and the best place to overtake. Sean got a bad run through there, and he's going to let Ben have a go at the Hyundai, so maybe Ben didn't get damage at the chicane that time, so he might have just scuffed it and got away with it. But now I think Sean's just letting him have a go and see if he can loosen up this Hyundai that Sean doesn't seem to be able to overtake very easily. It's just got too much top speed or something. Through this nasty chicane we go again. Ben's up in the air and into the barrier again, and Sean's got no option but to just retake the position, because Ben just can't do that chicane. For reasons I've made clear on many occasions. But Will seems to be doing a great job out front. He's not being hounded down by those guys. You thought they would be there by now and pressurising him. I really thought that Adam would catch him within a lap, 2 laps maybe, but it's just really not the case. Will's doing a great job. He's hanging on, doing the lap times, and this battle for 4th still rages. Sean now all over the back of Nick, and he's got to try and make a move, surely stick if he wants any chance of a rostrum. I think already that's gone, because the leaders are just already out the hairpin and halfway down the hill, so I just don't see that happening. So Sean's battle really is for 4th place, and Nick's doing a fantastic job of defending. Sure, that's not what's in Sean's head right now. He's probably thinking just get out of the way, but Nick doing a fantastic job. Bit scratchy through there though, kicks up the dust, and that's surely going to put Sean onto him. Too many S's in that sentence. Sean with a switchback, and now he'll try and outbrake the Hyundai around the outside, and he's done that before, which is why he's trying it again, but he's come from further back and that won't happen. So switchback, trying to use the 4-wheel drive advantage, get up the inside, didn't work. In fact, Nick there covering that move as we go through the bollock chicane. This is where Sean's good though. He's good on the exit, and it looks like he's done it again. That should see him down the inside. He's got the overspeed on him, and it looks like he's going to get it done. Nick tries to squeeze him, but it's can't really squeeze the car that's already alongside you. And Ben down the inside as well. Bit of contact. He had the inside line. Nick didn't see him, I don't think. Call that a 50-50 racing incident. I think that's what they did afterwards. I don't think Nick was surprised to see that Ben was there, I think, and just didn't realise that he was even in the fight. So they talked about it after, and it was deemed a racing incident. And then now there's a bit of needle handbags going on. Bit of moving on the straight there, which I talked about in the last race. So I won't bother again. But at last. So now we have a battle for the lead. So Lewis is pushed up to Adam, which is in turn pushed Adam back up to Will. So if Adam was waiting, saving his tyres, he's going to have to use them now. And these guys are probably about 10 seconds behind that. But with Sean now up into 4th, I'm sure he'll create a gap. Ben in 5th, probably hasn't got the speed to stay there. And Nick in 6th, Nick doing a great job still. And here it is then. Ooh, Adam's trying, just about hanging on from Lewis. Lewis ran outside, and if he can stay there, he'll have the inside for the second part of that chicane. It's probably too risky to stay there. He's tried it, but I think Mustang power counted there. And Lewis faster for the chicane than Adam, was he? Looked like just, but with the slipstream as well, is it going to get past that Ford? And now Adam tries down the inside to overtake Will. Will sees him, gives him room, and they go round the corner side by side. Now, what's the Mazda and the Mustang power like? And again, they're rubbing on the straight. It's stupid. And Lewis as well in the slipstream. This looks like it could be a freeway, and not the one that everyone wanted. And the Mustang just has the power over the Mazda, and the Toyota is probably the slowest of the three. But Will holds on to his second place. So if anything, he's down the inside again. Looks like he might have an overlap on Adam, but Adam's just pulled across on him. That's ruined that for him. And Lewis again tries the outside, and again it's pointless. Just a bit more patience. So here's 4th for Sean. He's got that pretty nailed on now. Nick's back up to 5th, so he's 3 past Ben. Not sure where or when and how, but he has. So we're on lap 10 of 12, so this race is, like I say, it's flashing by in no time at all. Much better from these two though. Been on the fringes of the top 10 really for the first 2 races, but 5th and 6th at the moment. I think it's much better improved showing from both of them. Ben now down the inside, but not really on, and well, I think it wasn't contact, we know that after speaking to both. But I think Nick tried to give a bit of room, but in turn that put him wide onto the next corner and into the gravel. So unfortunate mistake from Nick. He tried to give space, but yeah, it's unfortunate for Nick. We're just saying how well he was doing. We'll have to pit with damage for that. Meanwhile at the front, Will's still hanging on to this lead somehow. He's not had this sort of pace all day. Will just fighting like a dog, and they're both all moving over on each other. So it just could end in tears at some point, and we're going 3 wide again for the second lap running. And the power of the Mustang pulls Adam in front, and then it looks like the Mazda's just a little bit quicker than the Toyota, but again Will moves over on the braking zone. It's an absolutely pointless move. Keeps him second place. All driving pretty much the same though, so they can't really moan at each other or me after the race. But now will Lewis send it down the inside? He does, but Will gives him space and brakes late anyway. Sean flying up to the back of these guys very quickly, but it's going to be too late. 6th for Liam, 7th for Jeff, 8th for Brian, 9th for Rob, so he's had a disaster, 10th for Andrew, and 11th is Leon, and 12th coming out the pits after that horrendous crash is Nick. Chris in 13th. But Adam just getting a little bit of a gap at a crucial time in the race, with these two knocking 10 bells out of each other as they head through the bollocks of chicane again for the penultimate time. do not understand this part. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, great run from Lewis. Now just switch to the inside, get the overlap. Will needs to concede that and give him some room, and he has. Switch to the left again, see if Lewis will make a mistake, and he's going to try and run right around the outside, but Lewis has got the brains to run him out to the edge of the track, which he has. But it looks like Will's just got a little bit more straight line speed, and if he can get the slipstream from the Mustang, which he hasn't, so that might mean that Lewis gets back in front. Or is Lewis still not even got the power? Oh, they're banging again, it's getting silly as we enter the last lap. So now this is war. Lewis though passed Will, so Will's saw his chance for a win gone, or has he? Well, he's got like 2.3 miles to readdress the balance from board with Will. Down the inside goes Lewis to take the lead. Adam fights back around the outside and does it. Lewis doesn't know which end to cover, so he just covers both sides of the track. No problem with that. Good line from Adam through there. It's clipping the curb. I tried to do that, but I was just getting horrendous understeer, so it didn't happen. And then over the hill, over this crest, and then down towards one of the final overtaking opportunities on the track. So, and Lewis knows it. He's kind of lining it up. Brakes late, probably too late. Goes wide, and Will's there like a rat up a drain pipe. Bit of contact, and he's through. And oh, more contact. They have to give this up at some point, and Lewis rightly gives it up, and Will actually gets a stunning drive through that chicane. I don't know if he meant that, but it worked, and it's put him past Adam with one corner to go. Can Will win this against all the odds? Surely not. Adam's around the outside. He's like desperate now, like, how did you do that? And Lewis now up the inside of Adam, and Adam's wide, doing a Lewis from race 1 across the grass, and that's him out of the equation. So now it's down to the line. Lewis against Will. They're side by side. They're knocking each other across the line. I'd say Will got it, and he did. Will's won the race from Lewis. Adam third, Sean fourth, Ben much improved with fifth. At last he's got something to say after that race. Sixth for Jeff, seventh for Liam, eighth looks like for Brian. So Brian with a great night and was actually voted driver of the day by the admin, so well done to Brian, and rightly so. Rob ninth, so a pretty good debut all in all as he moves to the Hyundai team. 10th for Leon, 11th for Andrew. It looks like it's going to be 12th for the unfortunate Nick. But what a race. As we wait for Chris to come across the line and score the last points, or last running points. But Will looked, well, it looked like Lewis might have had that. He got a great drive at the last corner, but Will just had enough power and top speed to just pull away and just pull it back and get the result. And then they knocked into each other, and that was the end of that, I think. And it looked like he won by about a bumper. In fact, that's how much he won by. So about the front end of his car, a quarter of a car length. And there's the results for you to view, which we've been through already. Fastest lap went to Lewis as he tried to catch back up to the midfield, and Dean and Ash not finishing the race. Unfortunate for Ash after those two other good results. And there's the Drivers' Championship. So 16th for John, 15th for Leon, 14th for Chris, 13th for Dean, 12th for Andrew, 11th for Nick, 10th for Brian. Good results tonight. 9th for Will. At the top it's 8th for Ash, 7th for Ben, 6th for Jeff, 5th for Liam, 4th for Nathan, but that will be changed, 3rd for Sean, 2nd for Lewis, and the championship leader is Adam. Toyota lead the team's championship from Ford, Mitsubishi, Renault, BMW, Mazda, Subaru and Hyundai. Next week it will be Goodwood, so join us for 3 more madcap races from the SBR BTCC racing.